A good win for our team. It was a battle. I think both teams played really, really hard. We got a lot of respect for Texas and their basketball team. A lot of big shots in this game on both sides. A lot of tough shots made in this game. I think both teams were really, really playing hard in this game. You could feel it. A very high-intensity game. Both teams really needing to win, and big-time college basketball game. Proud of our team's effort, a total team effort. I thought Anthony Hickey was terrific, and just glad we were able to pull it out.
There was a stretch there where it felt like they were kind of getting an offensive rebound in almost every possession. Then second half, it all changed. I think 7 rebounds for Hickey in the second half. Forte had a couple offensive rebounds. What changed for you guys in the second half?
Well, it was obviously a concern going into the game. I mean, they're one of the better offensive teams in the country. Their length, those type teams have given us a few fits at times. We gave up. It did. I don't know the percentage, but it felt like we were giving up an offensive rebound pretty much every shot. But it's one thing to give up an offensive rebound. It's another to give them up and let them keep making threes. I mean, that's what was killing us. Yes, you don't want to give them up, but you got to keep defending. I think it. After several offensive rebounds, you could almost see our shoulders starting to slump a little bit. Oh, they got another one. But I told our guys, we can't worry about it. Do everything in your power to not let them get it. But if they do get it, you got to keep playing. And then we got through the half tied after all that, and then we just had a little bit of talk about it at halftime. And we wanted our guards to get in there and rebound more. And Anthony Hickey gets 9 rebounds. We just had, I thought, a little more awareness of blocking out, a little more awareness of, hey, we gave up 12 offensive rebounds, I think, in the first half. That's, I think once they saw that on the board at halftime, we talked about it, I think it kind of sunk in that we can't do that second half and expect to win. The effort in the second half was much better.
You actually finished with more second chance points than they did.
We were just talking about that as our coaching staff. I would have never guessed that. And what's amazing, a lot of ours were just, the team rebounds. You look down, we had, I think, 6 offensive team rebounds. That's just, that's a lot to do with effort. I wouldn't have never guessed that. That's for sure.
Talk about just the way that LeBron and Phil kind of consistently deliver the points for you guys. And they have to, but they continue to do it.
Yeah, we do a lot of things to try to put them in position to score. With that said, we've worked the ever since Christmas, really, of trying to play off those two as well. They're going to draw a lot of attention, doing some things with Phil Forte to get other guys shots, whether it be him screening, whether it be put him in a certain place on the court that opens things up. And then Nash, obviously, and I think you saw it in the Iowa State game more than even today, is where, when he gets in the paint and he draws help, he's got to kick it out. We have guys that can make plays. I've gained a lot of confidence in Newberry making shots. He was a guy I even talked about yesterday and today. Hey, I don't really run a lot of plays for many other guys except Forte and Nash and Hickey a lot to get him in the paint. But I've got more confidence in Newberry right now, and I ran some plays for him tonight. Shine's doing a good job of being in the right place at the right time and understanding our spacing. So, and I was talking to the radio guys afterwards, and I said, yes, I know Nash and Hickey get a lot of attention. They do a lot of good, but we got a lot of other guys doing a lot of great things, and there's no way in this league you can win with 1 or 2 guys, and we need to continue to bring these guys on. Cobbins and needs to continue to score a few more points. Newberry and Shine, and those guys got to contribute. And Hickey did a better job today than last game.
Talk about the defensive effort. Obviously, that was a key to your victory.
Well, our defensive numbers have been pretty good this year. I mean, I don't think to this point it can be disputed that our defense has been what we talk to our guys all the time about, and we've learned some lessons this year. Shots can come and go, especially with our team. We don't know how many points we're going to score, and we don't really worry about it too much. I used to, a long time ago in college, I used to worry about how many points my team scored. I could care less at this point. We talk to our team on a daily basis multiple times about hang your hat on defense. Rely on your defense will give you a chance to win games. If you just concentrate on defense and rebounding, do it together, and be scrappy. We're not just one of these teams that just can lay back and just play containment defense. There's different type defense. We're a get after it defense. We try to make teams uncomfortable. And your defense will let you score some offensive points, but you'll always have a chance. Some of our losses this year, South Carolina, and our offense really hurt our defense because we were shooting too quick and we were playing on our heels. But our defense has the ability to be to win games for us. It can be that good. And I liked our defense today. I was really concerned about their post game. I was really concerned. We had several different things planned to go to and do different things, but we never really had to go to Plan C. We had to go to Plan B a couple times, but I liked how our guys battled. We were mismatched pretty much size-wise at three spots on the court at every time, and I was proud of how they responded defensively. It's just a lot of scrappiness. I said that after the first week of practice we had this year. There's the scrappy little group. Another guy, Tyree Griffin, I thought he came in and changed the game for. I thought he was terrific. He played 10 minutes, I think, or something. But, man, he had 2 or 3 assists, and, boy, he really disrupts the other team. I thought our press, even though it didn't create a lot of steals today, I thought our press kept them off rhythm a little bit. I liked what we did. So I was pleased with that.
All the scrappy and hustle plays, are these high-intensity early conference games kind of reminders to keep the cool, though? Because LeBron with that technical, things like that, where as intense as the game gets, you got to kind of keep it under control.
Yeah, I was very upset with him for doing it. I know why he did it. I kind of, understood. He was going hard and to the rim several times and wasn't getting calls. But hey, that happens. I told him, I told him, I understand, but you can't do that. I get it. Let me argue. Let me get a technical, but you don't need to do that. And he was getting frustrated. But we can't do that. We can't do that. That's not acceptable. But we know he plays with emotion a lot of times, and sometimes we wish he'd play with that emotion, but channel it in the right place. Get that pumped up. It got him going when he came back a little bit, but that's not the way to do it. Let me handle those deals. Let me handle those. And he was apologetic. He knew right away he was apologetic.
Last time he got 20 and didn't go to the line.
I didn't get a rebound. I thought that's what you were going to say. I did not realize. No, we didn't. We got to get back. We were just talking about his staff. Last 3 games, we haven't got to the free throw line the way we need to, because that is a strength. But no, I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice that. It's a different game. I thought he did what we wanted him to go hard. If he's gonna go, you got to go hard and get into their body. I thought he did that. I will see, but then he had to go make jump shots. This is not the easiest team to score against around the paint. And we had guards going in there, and I'm like, what are we doing? Some of those shots had no chance they was going to block them. But I liked how he attacked. I did like that, and just didn't get the fouls.
Interesting stat sheet in a lot of ways. Hickey with 9 rebounds, LeBron with none. A lot of interesting numbers.
When you're a team like us, we don't have we didn't have any first-team preseason or any first-team guys Big 12 or second team, I don't believe. The only way you're going to win a game is when LeBron Nash doesn't go rebound, then somebody else better get 9 that doesn't. That's what a team. That's who we are. We're some overachievers. Work hard. Let's get after it. We got a couple, guys that can make some plays, and everybody better do their role. And when somebody, if you told me Nash wasn't going to rebound or wasn't going to get a rebound, I would have said, But a team that understands, hey, we're going to have to scrap and claw for everything we get. We get a lot of respect, and then somebody else going to have to do it. And you got a 5'9", 5'10" kid got in there and got 10 rebounds, which is good. But then you look back. Phil Forte, I've not been happy with his rebound. He gets 4. He's gone games playing 37, 38 minutes and not get a rebound. That's almost impossible. He gets 4. Newberry gets 4. Cobbins gets 6. Tyree Griffin gets 3. Smallest guy on the court gets 3 in 10 minutes. It's the only way we survive. That's the only way.
You seem to really enjoy coaching this bunch.
I told the team, I told the team all week. There's one thing I didn't. When I got out of I came out of the Iowa State game, I received so many calls, even that night on the way back and the next day. Oh, what a great fight your team did! Woo, we got. And I had people even in the building tell me, man, I saw your team and told them what a great job. I'm like, no, don't tell them that. No. For two reasons. The team we're coming in here right now is back in. They're telling that they were getting chewed out and doing all this, and we don't need our guys to feel good about what just happened. You know, and we were not pleased what had happened. Not pleased at all. Did we do some good? Yes. But as I told our team after this game, I love the fight to them. I love the scrappiness to them. I love that. You know, reminds me when I played. That's just, you're surviving. You're surviving. And if we keep playing defense, we'll give ourselves a chance. I'm not going to win them all, but we're going to give ourselves a chance. Who knows how many? I don't know how many we have, but it will give ourselves a chance. But if anything changes, if anything at all changes, guys get upset who've been playing, maybe don't play, and they start talking over here, or guys start thinking they're pretty good, or, hey, if any of that creeps in, then we become a average basketball team. But if we keep this edge and we're always kind of looking over our shoulder and thinking, uh-oh, this team's better than we're going to, yes, then I like that. That's my mentality. I like that. And then, but I like their edginess. I like their fight to them. That just doesn't need to change. And, they play with as if they maybe have something to prove. And that's not always bad. Play with a little bit of fear. It's not always bad. It's not a bad thing. I told them every game I ever played, I feared I wouldn't, you got to have a little bit of, you got to be a little scared, but you're prepared. It's not like you're scared because you're not prepared. Oh, I don't know what to do. You're scared because I know I'm prepared. Am I going to play hard? Am I, but that's my mentality, and they're kind of adopting that a little bit. So.
After a total team effort like that, was the team visibly exhausted when you're talking to them after the game?
Yeah, they're exhausted. I would say that. They were exhausted. It was a physical game, but also a hard fought. What made it so, there were so many loose balls and everybody going after them. I mean, plays were long plays, just battling back and forth. It wasn't just a possession game. It was a hard fought, spread out, loose ball, rebounding, batting, diving on the floor. We pressed for pretty much most of the game. It wasn't an all-out just getting, but we were guarding for 94 feet. And I told our guys, you're going to have to give it up. I mean, you don't have time to be tired. We don't have time for that. So, but they did give it up.
Games into the season, midway, pretty much. Is Anthony Dickey the player that you thought you were getting when you got?
I didn't know what I was getting. I mean, I knew him as a person. I'd watched a lot of film, and what I was very excited about getting was, hey, a kid that had been a starter for 3 years in the SEC. At least this was not going to be any surprise to him. He's been in big games, I had an individual meeting with just a couple of days ago, and do every day almost. But as he goes, our team goes. I believe that he's that important to our team. Now, can you handle that pressure? Is that too much for you? No, he kind of likes it. So, but he's obviously a very important piece. But I really didn't know what. I mean, I knew him as a person, kind of knew him as a player, but I didn't know exactly how he would fit in exactly. But I was excited to have him.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Phil, it seemed like a scrappy game out there. You got some marks to prove it.
Yeah, it was a little chippy out there, but, when we're undersized like that, we just have to, try to scratch and claw and do whatever we can because they're a lot bigger than us, a lot taller. But, if they got a rebound, we were trying to strip the ball away from them. And, we knew coming into this game we were just going to have to play hard, just play hard and play aggressive and just scrap and claw and just find a way to win, and that's what we did today.
Will you finally admit that you want to take it out on Texas every time you see them?
I mean, growing up in that state and, not really getting recruited by them is always something. But, they're a great team. They're a great basketball program with a lot of tradition. And so, they're always one of the top programs year in and year out. So they get everybody's best shot, and they're used to that. So, they're a really good basketball team. And so we're going to play them again. So.
Anthony, what adjustments did you guys make at halftime to, kind of open things up offensively?
Just pick up the intensity on the defensive end. We was getting open looks on the offensive end. We just had to get stops, and we was just able to lock down. And Phil Forte got going toward the end, and we was just able to pull off the win.
Anthony, what do you think when you see your line today? I mean, you were all over the place.
Well, it's been a minute since I had a line like that, but Coach got on to me a little bit in practice, saying he ain't like how I've been doing. I know I can do better, so I just gave it my all today, and we was able to make good shots, and I was able to feed guys, and we just gonna keep moving forward.
Phil, how exhausting is a game like that where you have to make up for some size with some scrappy play? It seems like you were almost exhausted at the free throw line there in the second half.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we're all exhausted here, and it was just one of those games we knew coming in is going to take every ounce of energy that we had, and we talked about it before the game. We want to come in here and just be able to just lay down and just be gassed, and that's the effort it was going to take, to beat Texas, who's the number 10 team in the country. And so I think we did that. All of us bought in, and we knew that we were going to have to give an unbelievable effort to win the game. And I'm proud of the way we came out and just fought. They got some rebounds or had a few dunks and made some plays, but we just kept fighting and scratching and clawing, and that's what I think gave us the ability to win today.
Phil, the talk the other day was about the guards helping out on the boards. Anthony gets 9. At the end of the day, you guys match him 37-37 in rebounding. Just kind of talk about how big that was.
That's really big. I didn't know that. Yeah, if we can, they're one of the best rebounding teams in the country, so we just need to try to find a way to help our bigs out. Hick did a great job today of getting in there and helping them out, getting some rebounds in. That's what all of us were, all the guards were just trying to get in there and do what we could to get those long rebounds. And it was a total team effort. It wasn't really one person. It was just a total team effort trying to do whatever they could to get any rebound that was in their area.
After the first half where they had stretches where they were dropping offensive boards on every possession, how much of that was an emphasis, at the break? Because I think Anthony had 7 in the second half. I know you had a couple offensive rebounds there under the basket.
Yeah, no, that was the main emphasis. They led to some easy threes for him. In the first half, they kicked it out, and so, we stopped them a couple times, in the first half. They just get the rebound and score, so we figured if we take those out of the equation, then, we get some stops. It's a lot easier said than done, though, when you play a team like Texas. But, we just played hard and just kept playing no matter what happened, and I'm just proud of the effort that we, brought today in the second half.
How much fun is it? The way the schedule sets up, the way things are going this next week, how important was getting this one today?
Oh, it was huge. Obviously, when you play at home, you always want to defend your home court, no matter who you're playing. And we had a great crowd out there today, so it's always good to win for them. We always want to win for our fans, and when they come out, and when you have Hick playing the way he did tonight, and he played phenomenal. I hope he gets enough credit for tonight's game because he played outstanding. Just he affected the game in so many ways, and I think everybody else is starting to see, just the type of point guard that he is. And as long as he keeps that up, I think our team will go to the next level.
Anthony, how do you get 9 rebounds among all those trees?
Well, I give a lot of my other guys credit. They box out, and I'm able to sneak in there and get rebounds. I was starting to notice, like, for the point guard position, they always get back, so I got to help the bigs rebound. And that's part of our defensive rebounds, go help the big guys. So I kind of steal some of their rebounds, and they kind of get mad. But I'm just helping out for the team.
The book on them, nobody's been able. They haven't run anybody off the 3-point line. They've given up a lot of threes here. What do y'all see on film when y'all see that? What do y'all talk about?
Well, basically keep our guys in front of us because that creates everything. And then, like, if we keep them in front of them, then they won't be able to kick it out for the 3. That was our main focus, was keeping guys in front of us and read the post in case we'll double in and just help side defense, basically.
Well, I guess flip it around, though. I mean, y'all's offense versus their defense.
Okay. Get in the paint. Get in the paint. Basically, me. Coach wanted me to get in the paint and create for other guys, and it makes my job a lot easier when Phil Forte making his shots that he make, because then he can create and for me, and it makes my job a lot easier. So basically getting in the paint and looking for guys. We've been running our offense a lot in practice, dummy offense, just to get the feel where guys going to be.
Anthony, Phil and LB have scored consistently for you guys this year. They each get 20 today. Talk about maybe leaning on those guys and counting on them to score for you.
Oh, yeah. Them being here, and I'm a rookie in the Big 12. I'm just watching them, just as they grew, because I used to watch them play. And they can go out and get 20, but it's my job to get them open shots. And it makes my job easier when they double them. They'll be able to create. So just the way they score the ball, it makes me a better passer because I got to know where they're going to be at all times. And, I think we just feed off of them. And I try to get them going on the defensive end because it starts with me up top.
Can you talk about that one play you had, kind of like a second effort tip to get the ball up and in?
Oh, well, I seen the ball coming down, and I was just able to get a good hand on it. Luckily, the big guy ain't blocked it because he was kind of close, but just trying to make a play for my team, and I'm just trying to just step up and try to win the game, basically.
Hey, Phil, can you talk a little bit about LeBron's game today and how much he was kind of dialed in, it seemed like, today?
Yeah, LB played great. You know, we've kind of expected that from him. That's pretty much what he brings every game. He's, I think, the best scorer in the Big 12. You know, he's so versatile. He can face you up. He can take you in the block, take you outside off the dribble from the perimeter. You know, he's so versatile. He does so many things for our team. And, you know, he really wants what's best for his teammates, too, and that's something I think that other people don't really see in him. And, you know, he's always trying to look for his teammates when they're doubling, or he's trying to get other guys involved. And so I think that also wears off on other guys. You know, we're just trying to do what we can to win the game, and all the stats and everything, that's something that this team doesn't really care about. And, you know, as long as we win, that's all that matters at this point, and we're just each trying to do our role and do what we can to win the game. And, you know, it makes it fun out there when everyone's just trying to, you know, do what they can and just has that selfless attitude.
How important was that 8-point swing he had where, you know, just in getting you guys going and getting the crowd going?
That was really big. You know, obviously when you can get the crowd involved here, you know, we feed off that as well. And so we're able to put, you know, some shots into the basket, and, you know, and then we feed off the crowd. You know, they start getting into it. You know, we get a few stops, and then, you know, we get a few easy baskets, and then obviously we just feed off the crowd. And so anytime that we have, you know, the energy in this building going like that, it makes it a lot more fun for us when we're playing.
Feeding off the crowd, but you also kind of feed off LB going into the paint consistently, taking the contact, and, you know, today not really getting called,
Right.
but he continued to, you know, show that effort, and just kind of talk about that, like, inspire you guys a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I thought he was getting fouled, but, you know, that's how the game goes. The refs aren't perfect. They're human, but he just played through it. And, you know, that aggressive, you know, demeanor he had, you could just see it in his eyes, you know, the way he was going to the basket and the aggressiveness he was playing with. And then I think that, you know, wore off on us. We just saw it in his eyes and how badly he wanted to win. And then that competitiveness, you know, rubs off on us, and the crowd gets into it, and then it just makes it more fun for everyone else that's playing.